Friday evening, we left home to head west 700 miles to a little track in Rogersville, Missouri called Ozark Raceway Park. We crossed the Ohio state line into Indiana just before sunset. As we made our way across Indiana, I was thinking about how we got started. Just a father and a son trying to make a name for ourselves traveling and drag racing on a shoestring budget with a junky little S10 pickup truck, an open car trailer, and usually just a half-ton pickup truck. We'd usually sleep in the truck at gas stations or maybe get a hotel room if we could afford it. And I can remember many nights sitting in the truck in a parking lot reading comments on Facebook about how we were the butt of someone's joke, that we would never be fast enough, never be competitive enough to travel and street race or no prep race with the fastest cars in the country. Make no mistake, we went drag racing because we love it and that's what we want to do. But the naysayers and the haters online just fueled our ambition. They push us to study harder, sharpen our pencil, work harder, and outsmart everyone else with more money and better equipment. And that's exactly what I was thinking as we crossed the Mississippi River into St. Louis, Missouri, on our way to Ozark Raceway Park. We made it to the track at about 6 o'clock in the morning. We got our pit spot set up and slept until early afternoon. And when we stuck our head outside the trailer, we couldn't hardly believe the amount of people who came to watch this event. And we definitely underestimated the amount of people who wanted to come see us, support us, and meet us in person. It was a near record-setting attendance level for a Friday night test and tune. Despite the fact that it was almost 100 degrees, we all tried to drink plenty of water and stay hydrated because we had quite a bit of work to do this evening to get ready for tomorrow's race. Tommy entered the Falcon in a class that requires radial tires, and we've never run the car on radials. Billy, on the other hand, accepted a call-out from beater bomb Joey Heichel from Nebraska for first round off the trailer Saturday in a car with 14 passes total and has never been on 29s. But despite the odds, the Nova made the quickest and fastest pass Billy's ever made in his life Friday night during testing. Billy made his final test pass just after midnight Saturday morning. We were signing autographs and selling merchandise until almost 1 o'clock in the morning. So the boys really didn't have time to go over the data from the cars or discuss their tune-ups until after everyone left. At about 3:30 in the morning, both the boys were still outside the trailer, getting something to eat, relaxing, and going over all the data in the laptops, creating tune-ups for first round for both cars. Unfortunately, the Falcon is still suffering from some kind of an electrical gremlin that's causing the car to break up in high gear. The Nova, on the other hand, is set on kill. Saturday afternoon, we would be racing in record high temperatures for us. Track temperatures over 140 degrees, air temperature around 97, and an anxiety level at an all-time high. Tommy's class was scheduled to run before Billy's, so the Falcon would be the first out on the track. The boys got the car ready back in the staging lanes. Billy checked the tires, and then they rolled the car up to the starting line. With the track temperatures as high as they were, people were struggling to get a hold of the track. I did my best to relay information to the boys about what I thought the 60-foot would hold, and they put a tune-up in the Falcon based off that information. And luckily, the little Falcon went right down the lane, no problem, taking the win first round. And then, it was time for Billy.
Yo! Oh shit!
So in Billy's video that came out already, you don't see me anywhere around that car or anywhere around the kids after that accident. I did go down to check on Billy and make sure he was okay, although I was pretty upset. From my standpoint, there on the starting line, it looked to me like he overdrove the car, and I was very upset. I was not used to seeing my son overdrive something. I didn't know that the engine had a problem. I didn't know that the car had put oil in the lane. All I saw was it had wheel speed in the first 60 feet, and then all of a sudden white smoke, and then it went it went into the left wall. And I didn't understand. I've never seen that happen. I've never seen my kid overdrive a car like that. And from my vantage point on the starting line, it looked for all the world like he just drove too far into it. And he lost control. But, you know, obviously after I got down there and I saw what had happened and the kids explained to me what had transpired and I saw it for myself, I just needed to take some time to myself. That was just a really tough thing to watch happen, because I know how hard Billy and Rob and everybody has worked on this car to get it where it's at, and to see it into the wall like that just really, really upset me. Just a tough thing, you know. After I calmed down a little bit, I decided I'd better go out, take some time and visit some of the people who came to see us. There was a line at the merch tent almost 100 feet long for what seemed like the entire weekend. And I realized that someday there's going to be an entire generation of little boys and little girls that have grown up watching our family on YouTube their entire life. Like this young man who told me he earned money cutting up firewood to build the engine on his go-kart. And this young man that's building an LS-powered Mustang. We signed shirts and hats and hoodies, and people brought us gifts too.
That apple pie one that you got in the spring. Should I even smell it or just no?
Just go for it.
It was
Small
80
sip.
proof to start with, and then I had flavor to it, so it kind of
Too hard.
Ouch!
That one's not smooth.
That lights you up. That's smooth.
This is smooth?
That's smooth.
It tastes good though.
Yeah,
It's got some bite.
Oh, I can. It's about here now. It's about there now. I can feel it all the way down. Oh my God! I think I'll leave that with you.
Despite the fact that the event got rained out pretty early on Saturday afternoon, we stayed up late and we were pretty groggy Sunday morning. Nobody really felt like getting up. But we've got to get going. We've got a 10-hour drive home. But before we left, Billy went ahead and signed every piece of the front end of the Nova and left it there for the track to raffle off for a charity. Meanwhile, we went ahead, put the Nova in the trailer, and we started our trip home. We ran into a little bit of weather on the way back. Kind of hit and miss. But for the most part, it was a really nice, relaxing trip back across the Mississippi, back into Illinois, across Indiana, and back into Ohio. We stopped a handful of times to top off the fuel tanks in the Suburban and in the Dually, and stop and potty the dogs. Vicky always tries to make sure they've got plenty to drink, but mostly they're just interested in what their papaw's doing. We made it back into Columbus, Ohio, right around 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. And it was raining pretty good by the time we got back to the shop. I'm really thankful that we didn't need any of the 3 spare tires I brought with me. And I'm really thankful we're going to be back in our own beds tonight. Monday morning, it was time for Vicky to clock back into work, and I wanted to get some yard work taken care of before everybody showed up to start working on the Nova. Kenny and Billy were the first ones here today, and they went ahead and untied the car and backed it out of the trailer. The goal for today is to get the car inside the shop, get it on the lift, check out the frame rails, pull the oil pan, determine what has gone wrong, and what can be salvaged, if anything. Once we had the car in the shop, Billy ran it up on the lift, pulled the oil pan off, and found this, a piece of Mallory that had come out of the crankshaft, penetrated the oil pan, ventilated it, letting all the oil out, which caused the accident. Now initially we figured that maybe a steel rod cap had let go, or maybe a rod bolt. But this is something entirely different. Parts failures happen all the time. It's to be expected. However, this situation could have been avoided very easily. So while the guys are working on the Nova back in my shop, I decided to take the Malibu down to see Mark, because when I left for Missouri, I noticed that the air conditioning has leaked all of the refrigerant out of it, and Mark made the lines for this thing. Well, it's Monday. It's quitting time. What time you close? 6?
6 o'clock.
What time is it?
It's not quite 6, but it's close, just typical.
And here I am.
Exactly.
I have a complaint.
Well, now what? Another one?
Yeah, I have no air conditioning in my Malibu.
It's not my fault.
Well, you made
I
the AC
hooked it-
lines.
Well, I know.
You
but
sold me all the parts.
Yeah,
Something's
I did.
defective.
I did, but when I left it with you, it was untouched.
Oh, here we go.
It was untouched, and it was fine.
I convinced Mark to come outside and take a look underneath the hood of the Malibu with me. Since he custom made all the air conditioning lines for this car, I figured he might be able to spot a problem easier than I can.
Well, I can see one thing. Look, there's a green O-ring. It ain't even in any place to seal. So I don't know how that even happened.
Was it that
wasn't-
way when you sold it to me?
No, it wasn't even close to that. Somebody's been in this thing.
You
And
know
I
who
think
that would be?
I think I know who it was. Right there. I can see. Vice grip. Look at them. All the
Oh.
dimples. So there's the problem. I didn't even have to diagnose anything. I could see it. It's sticking right out in the open.
I had Jeremy charge the air conditioning system in this car once we had all the lines done.
All right, so I kind of see what he did. So he found this fitting. This dryer is multiple fit, so it can do 134 and R12 both. So it's got an R12 fitting. He did kind of find a fitting that kind of fit, but anytime you have to put it on with a vice grip, that's not the correct procedure. So I found the correct fitting, which has a hex on it, and the proper seal up inside that should thread right on here, like that. And then we'll get the proper wrench, and then we're going to tighten it up with the proper wrench so it has a nice snug fit, just like that. And then we're going to use this cap, which is not meant to hold Freon in, just keep dirt out of the fitting, and we'll put that on like this.
Well, you got any more of that stuff in a can I can shoot in this thing and see if I can't get it to charge up?
I always keep plenty of that in stock.
So now that we've got the proper fittings installed, I fired up the Malibu, turned the air conditioning on full blast, and Mark brought me out 3 cans of AC Pro to recharge the air conditioning system in the old Malibu. Needless to say, the system was pretty well emptied by the time we fixed Uncle Bucko's leak. Once I got done pestering Mark down at A1, I thought I'd just take a little test drive in the Malibu up to see my brother to explain to him what I had found and allow him to respond to the accusations. Well, if it isn't Uncle Buckwheat, what are you doing? You're mumbling.
Trying to get my house together.
So Jeremy just recently purchased a new house, and on this piece of property was this ramshackle shit shed right next to the driveway. Well, it just so happens that Jeremy has his own ramshackle shit shed that's much larger that he needs to put in place of this one. So he tore it down and hauled everything away. And then he hired Sideshow Bob's shed moving service to pick up his much larger shit shed and haul it to his new property, where he intends to continue on with the interior decorating theme of the existing garage. Welcome to Uncle Bucko's 2.5 car garage and bordello.
Boob central. We got fire boobs, regular boobs, nipply boobs.
All of a sudden, I start to feel as though I understand why Jeremy was so adamant that he wanted to buy this property.
Even got Pam Landerson's autograph on that one.
Nearly every square inch of the walls and ceiling in the existing garage are covered with pinup girls. And Jeremy was more than willing to give me the nickel tour.
Got that anymore.
So after I got done touring Jeremy's new garage/peep show, I lower the boom on him on this air conditioning fiasco. You know, I was just down to Chumpy's today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he fixed my air conditioning for me.
Oh, he did, didn't he?
He did.
What was this, defective parts?
Someone, I'm not naming who, but someone changed a fitting on the dryer and it was leaking.
Yeah, it's because Chumpy didn't send one. I robbed it off of fucking Tommy's truck.
So it was you!
Yeah, because he didn't give me all the parts. Typical.
I couldn't take it anymore. I headed back to the house to go check in on Miss Vicky and see how she's doing. What's going on there, Squirrely Locks?
We're home.
What do you got laid out here?
More work. It never stops.
More girly stuff?
So the people in Missouri really showed up, full support, and wiped me out. Every single item I brought of the girly stuff, gone.
So let's just say this. We came to Missouri and people drove from as far away as Florida.
Everywhere.
From all over the like
Oklahoma, Arkansas, Tennessee, every state. It seemed like people were like, I drove 6 hours, I drove 8 hours. I'm like, holy cow! People came from all. I messed that up. People came from very far away.
Yes.
So we are so appreciative of the
And
support.
Okay, so this wasn't a situation where Billy crashed the car and everybody's like, oh my God, I gotta come and buy merch. Like,
No.
we
Friday
sold
night.
out almost everything Friday
Yeah.
evening. Like, you guys sold merch until 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And
The line was all night Friday long. It never stopped. Okay, I'm a little tired, all right? 10-hour drive. The line was so long Friday night, it never stopped. And we're so appreciative and thankful for the support. And there were so many people who were like, I want one of each. They wanted to make sure they supported Tommy and Allison and Billy and Old Man's Garage. Like, give me one of everything, you know? People were just amazing. And then
so nice.
Saturday, after the wreck, of course,
Oh, yeah.
you know, everybody came over to the pits to see the damage and see what happened. And after the dust settled, I realized there was a crowd back around the booth again. I'm like, I got to get back over there. And so many people said, you know, keep the change, give the extra to Billy, let me buy a sticker, anything to help. And man, it warms my heart. You know, it just, people are so caring.
So we set a record for merch sales.
Yeah.
Like, more than No Prep Kings, more than War in the Woods.
Yeah. It used
I
to
mean,
be
these
that-
are big,
yeah.
big events.
Right.
And
And
we
this
went.
was a first time event and they just knocked it out of the park.
So these are, like, we're talking about, we went to events, way bigger events than this. But because we were so far from home and there's been so many people out west that have wanted to meet us for so long, I had people tell us that they had canceled dates, vacations. Like, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
We're very thankful.
And I love seeing the little kids.
Yeah.
There was some of the cutest little kids.
And one of them almost died.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so
Right after Billy crashes his car, I come back to the trailer. The generator had run out of gas. So I run to go get gas. I come back in the Suburban. I'm putting gas in the generator. I spill gas on myself. I always do that.
the funnel always flips on him and he spills it all over himself. And then he has to get a shower.
Enough. So, like, I'm upset. I'm upset about the car. I'm upset about a lot of things. But I come back and I'm pouring gas in the generator, and then here come the dogs out of the trailer. I'm like, who in the heck let the dogs out of the trailer? So I gather up the dogs. I'm mad as a hornet. I gather up the dogs. I run the dogs back in. I open the back door of the trailer. I look in, and there's a dead girl on my couch. I'm like, what in the heck is going on?
This sweet, like, maybe 10 or 11-year-old girl had been, you know, gathered around looking at the Nova after the wreck, and down she went. She lost her vision.
literally passed out right there in
Literally
our
passed
pit.
out. Like the color faded from her lips, and she said she couldn't see. Like she went down, and her dad scoops her up, and everybody yells, "Put her in the trailer!" And I'm like, crap, it's been off because we ran out of gas, and it's not even cool in there.
And the hounds of hell are in there.
And yes, the guard dogs are in there. So I'm like, well, a couch is better than the ground, so go ahead and put her in there.
Let the dogs out. The dogs come to me. I spilled gas all over myself looking at the dog. Like it was a freaking fiasco.
Yeah, but the little girl, we got ice on her, and then the medics came over and attended to her, and a
She was
couple hours
good.
later, she was good. She was back over in the pits checking out everything again. So.
Yeah, she stopped back 2 or 3 times. She was good after that.
There was probably 5 or 6 people that had heat-related.
Right. There were
emergencies.
quite a
It
few
was
people
so
that passed
hot.
out. It was terribly, terribly
We're
hot.
not quite used to that excessive heat.
We melt.
I thought I was gonna dwindle into nothing, but anyway. Anyway, back to cute kids. I know you've got some footage. That little kid in the peach shirt who kept giving hugs, and Braxton with oh my god, he gave me the best hugs all day. Kids are just, I love when the kids come up. They're just awesome. Oh, I got some gifts. Some people hand painted me some stuff that was so cool.
You got ribs.
Oh, a guy
Somebody
brought
brought
me
you ribs.
2 racks of ribs. Oh my god, they were good.
The little green truck.
Yes. Oh, let me go get it.
I don't have time for that right now.
Oh, cut.
Oh. Okay, you're back.
Those are goodies.
What in the heck is all that stuff?
Okay, look. Look at this. Hand painted. Look at the window. Look at the tailgate.
That's cool.
Look at how the paint looks like chrome.
Mm-hmm.
Adorable. Made my day. So did this. Look at this. Cool saw blade. Hand painted.
That's sweet.
The nicest family. I love meeting the people who watch the videos. It's so cool to meet the people. Look at that. We got the most heartfelt letters, messages, Hot Wheels. Look at this one. Look,
I'll be darned.
it's even beat up like mine.
Uh-huh. I got one more person to thank.
Who?
Karen Price.
Yes.
She sent
She noticed
a helper.
me struggling over there. She's like, you need help. And I said, normally I have help because, you know, Kenny or Harley or Bill
Right.
Davey will travel with us, but
But
10
when we're
hours,
10 hours away from home, we didn't have anybody to help. So
Yeah.
thank you, Karen Price,
Yeah, she sent me a helper.
who sent one of her girls over to help Vicky.
Nope.
Huh?
Redo that.
What?
She sent a boy over.
Well, you never can tell these days.
Stop.
All right. She
Redo
sent
it. Help. She sent help.
She sent help.
Yes. And just to have somebody help people to find their size, you know, in the mess and all.
Right.
Is just such a help.
So thank you, Karen, for
Yes.
sending your associate.
Yes.
I thought it was a girl. I didn't know. I didn't see who it was. I didn't know. I just assumed it was a girl.
We need to redo the whole thing.
I'm not redoing that.